Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it's such an honor and such a pleasure to introduce you to this incredible human being. Hey, everybody, I've got a truly inspiring man here, Noel Showers, a guy whose journey from the Marine Corps to building one of the most successful and exciting cornhole leagues in Iowa is nothing short of amazing. Born in Cedar Falls and raised in Waterloo, yes. Noel attended schools like Craig Elementary, St. Mary's, and Logan Intermediate, all of which are no longer open, unfortunately. Growing up with his two sissies, Tammy and Tessie, Noel graduated from East Waterloo High School. Go Trojans! And that was in 1988. And from there, his path led him to serve in the Marine Corps, where part of his training focused on federal travel, a skill he'd later use to transition into the travel industry after leaving the service. Noel worked as a travel agent for a time and eventually moved to Washington State, where he managed a travel office for a company that provided continuing medical education. It was there that his oldest daughter was born, and she lives there today. After returning to Iowa, Noel took on several jobs, everything from working as a DJ slash on air personality at a radio station to managing a sales store for a national retail chain. He also drove over the road for Wonder Bread and Hostess. When those companies closed, Noel decided to take a bold step and return to school as a non traditional student. Yes, I love that. To earn his IT degree, all while raising a family in Waterloo. But it wasn't just about work for Noel. In the late 1990s, he discovered his love for cornhole. And by 2021, he founded the Blackhawk Baggers, located in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, but bringing together cornhole enthusiasts from surrounding communities all over Northeast Iowa. What started with just 8 people has now grown into a vibrant community with weekly events attracting over 50 players and tournaments that draw more than 100 participants. For Noel, though it's never just about the game, it's about building connections, creating a space where everyone feels welcomed, and helping others in when their friendships are being formed into close bonds. Noel's journey has been one of reinvention and resilience, and today he's leading a league that's changing the way people connect through cornhole. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just curious about the game, today's conversation is sure to inspire you. Noel, welcome to the show. We're excited to hear all about your incredible story and what's next for your league.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the welcome. That was quite I don't know, an impressive introduction. I was looking around for who you were introducing. But I
There we go.
me.
You're right here at my side. Incredible stuff, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, do you have any like fun childhood stories, Noah?
Well, yeah, I suppose. I mean, probably my best memory of being a kid is not paying bills, but beyond that,
Right.
if you grew up in Waterloo or went to school around here, I grew up in the late 70s and the early
Mhm.
80s around here. And one of the
Yes.
best things about Waterloo at that time was the Katoski themed parks around here. Now, a lot of people
Ooh.
know the name Katoski from
Yes.
Katoski, Street or Boulevard or whatever,
Yes.
or maybe the
Yes.
Katoski Trail. But, at one time we had so many great parks here in Waterloo between like
Really?
Robinson Crusoe. We had Ghost Town Park. We had Cinderella
Yes.
Park, the
Yes.
Rocket Park. I mean, there was
Ooh.
just a ton of them, and a lot
Aw.
of great memories playing at those parks when I was a kid.
Oh, I love it. I wasn't familiar with the term Katoski,
Mhm,
except for, like you said, the boulevard.
mhm,
But now I'm putting it all together. I grew up in Waterloo, but moved to Minneapolis in 1977.
mhm.
But when I left, all that was booming. It was
Yeah.
booming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and well, Leonard Katoski was actually the Waterloo Parks Commissioner in the late 50s, and then they had him
Ooh,
commission all of these big parks out there.
I didn't know
Yeah, they
that.
were all themed ones, and I think they closed them down for liability issues there in
Oh,
the 90s.
sure,
But
of
boy, we had a
course.
great time on those parks.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. I loved Robinson Crusoe.
Yes,
Yes,
they
so
still have the elephant there.
oh, they do?
Yeah.
I'll have to go see it.
Yeah.
So adventurous. Yes, absolutely. So tell me, who would you count as your biggest influence in life, Noel?
Oh, wow. That would be unfair to just name one. I've had so many.
Okay, let's talk about them.
Well, I guess growing up, I had a lot of teachers, like a lot of people do. When
Yes.
I went to middle school over at Logan Intermediate,
Okay.
and one of my biggest influences there was a guy. Some people will probably know him. His name was Bob Pace. He was a
Okay.
music teacher there, and he
Ooh.
definitely expanded my musical horizons. Joe
Yes.
Albrecht was a teacher at East High that I had that was just phenomenal and taught me the value of learning from history. But
Ooh.
my mom, as any parent does, taught me a lot of things. And these days I have to give a lot of credit as far as inspirations and influences
Mhm.
to other cornhole and bags directors around
Oh,
the state and the area.
yes.
We have Scotty Nelson is up in Austin, Minnesota, that has just been invaluable in
Okay.
teaching me so many things about how to do these events.
Wow.
James Vigan down in Des Moines, Reggie Reeks
Okay.
down in Cedar Rapids. There's a lot more that I could mention, but what I like about it is they're all collaborative. They will all
Yes.
help you out and do their best to grow the sport and make it a nice event for everyone.
Ah, that's so wonderful. I love that. So, what about a personal mission statement, Noel?
Well, that's a good question.
Mhm.
I suppose that as I get older, it changes a bit, but I kind of I'm not a religious person. I
Mhm.
went to a Catholic school for a little bit.
Okay.
I
Sure.
believe you did too, as well, didn't
Yes,
you?
I sure did. All 12 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
You
I
did
mean,
your research.
well, I'm not really a super religious person,
Sure.
but I guess you would say that I kind of have I don't know, like a Eastern philosophy, sort
Yeah,
of,
interesting.
in that I believe in we are all caretakers
Mhm.
of the world around here,
Mhm.
especially as you get older. When you
Yes.
have kids, you kind of
Right.
realize that you're just trying to make it a better place for them.
Right.
And
Yes.
so my philosophy is first do no harm, kind of like
Yes.
doctors.
Beautiful.
But I also have a
Yes.
feeling that what we do resonates with people. I feel
Right.
like if you can do a good deed for someone, that you don't know where that's going to go. It has a ripple
Right.
effect. It
Yes.
makes days better for other people. So I kind of feel like, I don't know what you call it, maybe like social contract or
Oh,
something. But we all
yeah.
have a responsibility to make the world a better place.
We sure do. Yes. And we can do so through cornhole,
Yes, I try.
right?
Yes.
Yes. So we're going to hear more about that in a bit. So tell me, do you have summer plans?
Well, summers are quite busy for Blackhawk baggers.
Okay.
And what happens is I do a lot of leagues during the fall and winter, but then in the summer, we take a break from all that so that people can get outdoors. And I run a lot of tournaments. So
Ooh.
it can be, well, a lot of them are like little town celebrations, maybe
Sure.
they'll do, Evansdale Days or
Okay.
Waverly Heritage
Yes.
Days, or
Yes.
those. My Waterloo Days is a big one that we're
Oh,
doing. Yeah,
wonderful.
so I keep busy with that. And the truth is, when it gets warm out and the summer, that you got a lot of weddings, graduations, family reunions,
Yes.
vacations. So hey, I don't blame you. Get outside and do stuff. Bags will
Right.
always be here when you get back.
Yeah, bags will be here when you get back. So tell us about Black Hawk Baggers.
So Black Hawk Baggers, actually, we kicked this around for a while, but I've been playing bags for pretty close to, I don't know, 25
Oh
years.
my gosh.
Yeah, and it
That's a
wasn't
chunk
so
of
big
time.
around this area
Yeah.
back then. But what happened
Wow.
was, we were going and traveling to some tournaments. I have a good friend of mine, Tony Graves. He has
Okay.
been my partner for a long time, and we'd travel around to all these places. And in those days, it was kind of homemade boards, homemade bags,
Right.
and so pretty much what we wanted to do was we wanted to improve the quality of it around
Ooh,
here.
yeah.
And
There you
so
go.
as we're traveling around, we found that we weren't able to really like I don't know what you'd say, become part of any other
Okay.
group. It's like we're just visiting, you know.
Oh,
So eventually
sure.
we
Yes.
said to each other, you know what, why can't we do this here? You know, we
Right.
have the people, we have the interest, and
Yes.
we kicked around some ideas for names, but Black Hawk Baggers, we just took it as you know, Black Hawk. It's
Yes.
aerial, and you see
Yes.
here on the
Right.
jersey, this is us.
Yes.
But we also said, you know, we want to have it something that's not just centralized to Waterloo or Cedar Falls. We don't want people to feel like if they're not from here,
Right.
they can't be part of it.
Exactly.
So we settled on Black Hawk Baggers, and as you said at the start, you know, we started with just a few people,
Yeah.
and then it has really grown into probably
Wow.
about 70 people come to our events regularly. And then, oh yeah, we
Really?
get people from all over, really the Midwest,
Wow.
but a lot in Iowa.
Oh my gosh, that is incredible.
Yeah, thanks.
So tell me, what do you think about your career in bagging, in cornhole? Do you have any career related goals or endeavors, and what might those be in the future?
Mm. Well, you know, I don't have any career plans in cornhole
Yeah,
other than what I'm doing. Some people can actually parlay this into being professionals or
right.
elite players. You know,
Yes.
I'm not quite at that level. I'm
Okay.
humble enough to admit,
Yeah.
but we have developed some people here that are that good.
Really?
Yeah, and
So cool.
so I'm gonna let them do that.
Yeah,
As far
yeah.
as my career,
Right.
I have kind of transitioned. Those places that you mentioned at the start,
Yes.
um, I kind of went through a transition where they either closed their doors or they
Mhm.
sold the company to a competitor or whatever.
Right.
So my specialty is IT these days,
Yes, I
and I just
see.
recently joined up at Martin Brothers, a
Oh,
local company, and
yes.
they've been really, really great. And I just, you know, I'm very impressed with the people there. They're very customer oriented, and I'm a
Yes, they're
customer
wonderful.
oriented kind of person.
Right.
So I guess my goal is to just, you know, grow into that job and maybe retire from
Sweet.
there.
Oh, wow, that's very cool.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're thrilled to have you on
I
board.
hope so.
Yes, of course. I had Brooks Martin on the podcast maybe 3 weeks ago.
He's such an impressive man.
Yes, he
Yeah,
is. I'm just like blown away. He's again so humble
yeah,
and like you, humble. Like, I'm not that big of a deal, but he really is a big
he
deal.
is. And, you
He's,
know, he's so approachable.
yes.
That's been the biggest thing. Honestly, all of the people there have been that way. It
Oh,
doesn't matter how high up the chain they are. They really have a inclusive atmosphere.
wonderful.
Mhm.
Oh, I love to hear that. Casey Slack is over there. He's a dear friend of mine.
Yeah, I know Casey
Yes.
really well,
Do
actually.
you?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Great guy.
Yeah. So he's been in my show twice now. Did he tell
Really?
you that?
No. And you would think he would because
You'd
he's
think you
always down
would.
in our office rating it for food.
Okay,
So,
there you go. So ask him about it next time.
yeah, I'm coming for you, Slack.
Yeah, there you go. Slack. No slacking. Okay, so tell me, what do you like most about Black Hawk Beggars?
Another good question. You know, when we first started, it was just about the sport, you know. I
Yeah,
mean, that was everybody's commonality. But as with anything, especially feel this way with sports. And as the group grows larger, you have more different personalities that come in. Some
sure.
people are super competitive.
Of course.
Some people are just there for the
Yes.
camaraderie.
Right.
But you know, one of the things that I really fostered in the group was I said, this is really about the people first
Mm-hmm.
and the bag second.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
well, and there's a reason for that is because, you know, we can all play bags no matter what somewhere,
Sure.
but it's hard to find a group of people to be comfortable around, to
Yeah.
become friends with and stuff. So I pretty much established it, you know, that that's the way we're going to be. We're going to
Yeah.
welcome new people no matter what
Nice.
their skill
Nice.
level is.
Sweet.
We're going to help them develop. And, you know, once we got going with that, it kind of just had a life of its own. Like
Wow.
the people there are the ones policing it, not
Yeah.
necessarily me, you know.
Right.
So, and I'm really very proud of that because I think these days people are looking for connections.
Yes.
We're old enough that we
Uh-huh.
remember the time before the internet. We remember
Right.
before cell phones. We
Right.
remember before people only knew somebody in an online way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I feel like people still crave that.
Yes, they do.
And so they come back to this because this is an opportunity for them to put their phone down for a while, to talk
Right.
to other people and to, forge relationships. That's
Wow.
been my favorite part of it.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, putting that phone down. So my second eldest son, not this year, but the year before, went to the Masters golf tournament. And he said, you walk in,
Lucky.
all right. He said, you walk in and you're to put your cell phone in a basket. And he's like, wow. At first, I was like, I guess I don't really want to do this. But that feeling of freedom, once he
Yes.
did that,
The liberation.
yes, the liberation from that piece of metal was like unbelievable.
Yes.
So, do your people put them in a basket or something?
No, I don't force them to do that because they still like to get pictures and so
Oh,
forth.
pictures,
Um,
of course.
it's also a very stats driven sport.
Oh,
So, of
yes.
course, they all want to look at, ooh, here's my stats from the last game.
Oh,
And
sure, of
hey,
course.
hey, Joe, I did better than you on the last game. So,
Right.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's cute.
But really though, you don't even have to tell them because they just want to put their phones down and
Oh,
talk to each other and
sweet.
play.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Hmm.
So, I've never done cornhole. I admire it. I watch it. I've never done it. When I was a little girl, I was over at Laporte on Laporte Road. There was a bowling alley that I believe is still there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Cadillac.
yeah, Cadillac. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
the name of it. So they taught us how to bowl. And I tell my kids, yeah, because my grandson is starting to be interested in bowling and he's 8. I said, I can
Oh,
teach you how to throw the ball. And my kids are like, Mom, it's just you take a ball and I said, no, there's more to it than
way
that.
more.
Way more than that. They're like, really? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, let me show you what this is like. Okay, that's an example. So tell me, what do you do for someone like myself who's never done it? How do you throw that bag properly?
That's a really good question. I
Okay.
don't have many people ask that.
Okay.
But like bowling,
Yeah.
like darts, like a lot of those
Right.
kind of sports,
Right.
um, it's about finding a form that works for you and then repeating it
Nice.
and honing it.
Okay.
In bags, the bag is a maximum of 16 ounces. So the most is, a
Oh, didn't
pound.
know that. I thought
Hmm.
they were heavy.
Well,
Okay.
they're heavy enough.
Yeah. A
Back
pound.
20 years
Okay.
ago, they were maybe half a pound, and if you had a 5 mile an hour
Oh.
breeze, you could watch your bag just
Of
sail across.
course.
So, so what I tell people is, and you're asking for
Yeah.
somebody who just wants to know from scratch.
Yeah. Scratch.
The best thing to do is just
Okay.
stand up at the line,
Yeah.
and when you let the bag go,
Okay.
let it come out of your hand naturally, like just let your hand open up naturally.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's the
Sweet.
best way because some people try to spin it like a
Oh,
frisbee.
yes, of course.
Yeah,
And that's just detrimental to the sport.
you want something that you can repeat
Yes.
over and
Yes. Over
over.
and over, just
Yep.
naturally like that.
Yeah, it's a
How
lot of fun, and
fascinating.
we have people come in throwing it all kinds of ways.
Ooh.
And yeah, and we sit down with them, and we'll just find somebody that connects with them and say, hey, do you want to work on your throw?
Yeah.
Let's fix some things in your fundamentals. Sometimes
Sweet.
we even do videos, and we'll
Oh.
we'll look at them and go, okay, here's what you want to do, here's what you're doing now. So yeah.
Oh, I love it. When did this sport, I know we talked about it a little
Yeah.
bit, but when did it truly originate?
You know, I once looked this up.
Oh, I bet you did. That's why I asked you.
Supposedly in the 1800s, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it never caught on
Oh,
here.
okay.
But evidently, it was the probably the late 80s to early 90s when they started trying to get organized, like to have a governing body for it
Yes.
and so forth.
Yes.
And then it was, as much as I was slagging on technology here
Right.
earlier,
Right.
it was really the advent of players being on television that
Oh.
everybody kind of started getting interested in it.
Oh, how fascinating.
Well,
Yeah.
What person wouldn't be interested in a sport that they could drink a beer while they're doing it?
Right?
So
Exactly.
yeah, they look at it on TV. I can do that.
Yeah, yeah,
So
I could do that.
hmm
That's really cool. I love that so much. So tell me, do you have any pet peeves, Noel? And if so, what are they?
uh, that's a good question. Well,
uh,
I think in this day and age
yeah,
of technology and
right.
the internet and all this, I think that there's so many people that kind of position themselves as experts on everything when
Sure.
all they've really done is gone like online and found the first article that agrees with their confirmation bias, or
Right?
I call them Google PhDs.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is I feel in this day and age with the internet and so forth,
Mhm.
and with all this information being so readily
Right.
available, it feels like a lot of people are more concerned with being right
Oh, sure, of
rather
course.
than just being informed or
Right.
have a broad base of knowledge.
Yes,
So
right.
I think the internet has kind of fooled people or
I
convinced them
agree.
that their narrow viewpoint is the only correct
Correct.
one. So
Right.
I don't know. I try not to get bent about too much, but
Yeah.
that is definitely a pet peeve.
Oh, absolutely. I can only imagine it would be for you. So, what do people misunderstand about you most?
Misunderstand my French. I don't speak French, so no, that's probably what. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
dad, so I get
Aw.
one dad joke.
Yeah, one dad joke. There you go.
So the truth is, though, I don't know about misunderstanding. I
Mhm.
try to be pretty direct.
There you go.
I think maybe communication is very important to
Yes, it
me,
is.
and
Yes.
I feel it's just as important to listen to people as it is to talk and
Right.
say your opinion. But I think maybe sometimes maybe I over explain things in the effort to be super communicative,
Uh-huh.
and maybe it feels like I'm dominating conversations or
Oh,
something. I really don't mean to be like that.
no, of course not. But you're a natural communicator,
Oh,
and that's
thanks.
beautiful. And that's why you were involved in radio at one point.
Yeah, I was.
Yes, that is so cool. But you don't miss those days.
Well, I was driving from Waterloo out to Independence every day, so
Oh,
that's probably 45 minutes. And in the winter, how
yes.
the plows aren't always out at night, so
Right.
it can be a little hairy trying to be there by 5 in the morning to be on
Yep.
the air.
Yep. Right.
So that's the
Exactly.
only thing I don't miss about it.
Yeah. Right. And of course, you don't miss the paychecks.
Yeah, how true.
Right?
I didn't want to say that out loud, but
It's
yeah.
all good. I do it because I love it.
You have to,
You have to
honestly.
love it. That's right. Okay, so let's talk about your biggest failure and what did you learn from that experience, Noel?
Well, you know, um, with kids, you're always trying to
Yes,
teach them
of
lessons,
course.
and you kind of just hope that they don't repeat the things that you did wrong.
Right.
So for me,
That's the hope.
yeah, and I got out of the Marine Corps, and I should have went and got all my education out of the way at that
Sure,
point.
sure.
And instead I kind of got wrapped up in different jobs and
Right.
thinking that, oh, I'm gonna make a career out of this or I make a career out of this. Um, Probably my biggest regret in that regard is that I should have got it done earlier. And
Oh,
I
sure.
tell my kids that. My daughter, she's 20, my son is 17, and I'm
Okay.
like, get your schooling out of the way
Yes,
right
do
now because
it.
yeah, but I understand too. We
Yeah.
were all 17 and 18 at one
Yes.
time. And,
Right.
when you tell a kid that it takes 2 years to do anything,
Yeah.
that seems like a lifetime to them.
Right.
But when you get to be our age, you can do anything for 2 years standing on your
Yes.
head.
Exactly.
So I really wish that I had gotten my advanced education out of the way earlier.
Sure.
Would have allowed me to get set on my career trajectory a little bit earlier.
Right. So how old were you when you started school, college?
Oh, well, I took a few community college
Mhm.
class as well as in the Marine Corps,
Oh,
but
good.
yeah, and I got a few gen ed
Mhm.
stuff out of the way.
Sweet.
It's nothing like it is today,
Yeah.
the kids can get so many of those credits
In high
done while
school,
they're in
yeah.
high
Right,
school.
right, right.
I mean, they can almost have a year of college done before
Yes.
they even get out of high
It's
school.
beautiful.
I'm so happy about that.
Yes.
But I really did not get back into it, to go for my current degree
Yeah.
until I was, well, let me see, 43 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm happy that I did. I went to a very great program out here at um, Hawkeye Community College. So the
Beautiful.
network administration and engineering program, Todd Bengen, Chad
Okay.
Dean, you guys ran a great
Yes.
program.
Yes. Yes. That's wonderful. I started at age 40 and I went to school for 15 years.
Oh my gosh, that's a whole nother job.
I know it's a whole nother job, but it's because I loved it
Yes.
so much. Now, this is part-time school while working full-time in radio. And gosh, I just kept getting degree after degree because I have so many interests.
Mm-hmm.
So I started with the art degree, and then I went to the language and literatures degree, and then I went to history. And I know you love history.
Those
You
are all
talked to-
degrees I
yeah.
wish I had.
Oh, they're all wonderful degrees to have. And I've been toying with the idea of going back for psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I will do that, but it's something on my bucket list because I think it would be really interesting. So to talk to another non-trad is so exciting for me. Now, it wasn't easy for us. We had to balance our lives and still, work the job and do the
For
rest
sure.
of everything we were doing, raise the children. And then I don't know about you, but sometimes you walk into a class the first day and the kids are looking at you like, why are you here?
Absolutely.
You remember that feeling.
Yes. But the truth is, though, we being non-traditionals,
Yes.
you carry certain advantages that they don't have.
Yeah, that's true.
One of the things when I was in school that I noticed, and this was funny because I'm in IT, so I have all of these little 18, 19-year-old kids that have lived in their basement for, the last 10 years on computers and can do everything way better than me. But we also did some job interviews, like mock job interviews there.
Cute. I love it.
And watching them freeze up when they would get in these.
Of course they would.
Yeah, and
yes.
When I got up there, it was funny. I step off the stage. I don't even think they knew what my name was before that. But after I step off the stage from doing the job interview, their mouths were just like,
I love it.
How'd you do that?
Yay. So you taught them.
Yeah,
oh, that's
I tried.
Beautiful. I love that so much. So when did you first know that you wanted to start Black Hawk Bakers?
Well, I would say I was hoping that we were going to be able to join up with other groups around the area. And really the closest one was Cedar Rapids.
Oh, wow.
They had a great group of people and we would travel to their tournaments and stuff. But, when you're not around people except maybe once a month or once every couple of months, it's hard to really form those kind of friendships where how good friends can kind of rib each other
of course.
and joke around and stuff. And we never felt like we kind of got over that hump with them.
Oh, sure.
So we said, you know what? We can do this, you guys. We have enough interest around here.
Mm-hmm.
There's plenty of good players. And I also felt like we should have our own identity.
Yes.
So after, it really took the support and encouragement of some of those original group of 8 people to say, yeah, let's go ahead and take this step. Let's do it.
And what year was that?
Well, it was late in 2021 when we decided that we were going to do it, but it wasn't until February of 22 that I actually went and got the business license for it. And it started getting merchandise in our name and so forth.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is so exciting. So where can people find you on the web and social media?
Well, my kids would laugh at me because I'm pretty much only on Facebook and social media.
It's all good.
I haven't gotten the whole Instagram and all of that
Not
stuff.
a problem. I'm not on there either. Nope.
But we are under Black Hawk Baggers. You can see it up here. It's 2 separate words, Black Hawk, and baggers.
Okay.
You'll know you're on the right page when you see there's like 400 and some followers.
Wonderful.
But there's also, this is probably the best way to find out what events we have going on. There is a free app for smartphones.
Ooh.
It's called Scoreholio. Now, I know how ridiculous that name sounds.
It's cute. It's catchy.
It sounds like Cornholio from Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
But it's called Scoreholio.
Nice.
And the nice thing about it is we put all of our events in there that we're doing, so people can register on there. Yeah. They can find out any special information about that event, how much it costs, what time it is, where it is, et cetera, et cetera.
Nice.
But it's not just us. It's anyone who has cornhole events going around the area, and it's free. So
wonderful. Yeah. Oh, and it's free. So you just go to the App Store, download the app, and boom, you're all set.
Yeah, everything's free. And what's nice about it is you can tailor the settings so that you can set it up to maybe only go in a 50-mile radius. Like,
oh, wow.
You don't necessarily need to know what's going on in Maine or California.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Maybe just Northeast Iowa.
There you go. Wow, that is so cool. And when somebody wants to score some merch from you, they go to Facebook.
Yeah, you can get a hold of me on there,
okay.
And send questions to our Facebook page, or just DM me, directly from Facebook. Again, my name's Noel Showers. So we do orders of jerseys, hats, things like that once every couple of months. And if you're interested in something particular, I'll be glad to take care of you.
Sweet. So, and if someone out there is like, I want to try cornhole, but I have no experience whatsoever, should they reach out to you?
For sure.
Yay.
The thing is I think that's what keeps people from coming out most of the time, is because, first of all, you're not sure if you don't know the people. So there's that hesitancy and anxiety.
Yeah.
But I think people are very anxious about what their level of expertise is.
Sure.
And let me just tell you, we have it all. Some people have only ever played at their family barbecue or, kicking their Uncle Don's butt at, the family reunion or whatever. So, but, when you get into like the serious level of it, there is, you find out it's a whole different game. But we have every level here.
Sweet.
And we take pains, the way that we do things, to make sure that you're playing against people that are at your expertise level.
Perfect.
Yeah. Because then, I think new people, maybe they feel intimidated.
Of course they do.
And they, or like, oh, I don't want to let that really good person down.
Yeah, right.
So we have a lot of women too. I mean, people may think it's just a male sport, but we have everybody here, and young, old, male, female, everything. So we would love to have you come out.
Yay.
Yeah.
Sounds so wonderful. Like heaven on earth.
Oh, it's fun.
Yes. So any closing thoughts, Noel?
No, I really appreciate the opportunity to come here.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, this gets our name out there a little bit to let people know. But I guess my biggest thing is I want to encourage people, even if you think that your level of expertise isn't there, please come and talk to us, because
absolutely,
I think you'll find out if you play once, you'll be hooked and you'll want to keep coming back. Yeah.
Yes, I love it so much. Oh, it's just been a pleasure and an honor to have you here. Thank you so much, Noel. Really appreciate it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye. Have fun cornholing. Yes.